Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go. Live from New York, it's Laughing Vikings. Hey, 84? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
The big 8-4. 4-4. Welcome. How's it going, BK?
I'm doing good, Lars. It has been a relaxing couple days, and it's been nice after a hectic weekend filled with scenes and performing and audition sessions and the whole 9 yards. It was great.
What was so
how was the travel down to New York?
Smooth sailing. Just
nice.
9 hours, 8 hours straight down through the mountains. Beautiful sunny day on Sunday. Easy peasy. It's funny to me, like I some people, like, you would say, like, how long is the drive? And I say 8 hours. And they go, oh my God, 8 hours. I could never drive 8 hours. It's like, but to me, that seems ridiculous because you're just sitting. It's like that you could stay in your house you could be 8 a.m. and then at some point it's going to be 4 p.m. But if you had gotten a car, you would be in New York City. So I never get how people relate, like, the time to length of a trip. You know what I mean? Like, if I were to say to you, it's an 8-hour drive, you would go, oh, fuck, 8 hours. And I don't understand that because people have 8 hours pass in their life every single day, 3 times a day, 8 hours passes. But for some reason, if it's in a car, it's like, that's so far. But it doesn't seem far at all to me.
Did you say 3 or 4?
What do you mean?
Did you say 3 or 4?
3 or 4 what?
3, like, did you say 3 or there's 3 or 4 8-hour increments in a day?
3. There's 3.
4.
No, there is not. There is not 32 hours.
Damn it. So I just revealed I'm terrible at math.
Brandon Knox, everyone. There's 2 things that you don't want to rely on him for. One of them is math, and the other is spelling and or diction, I think. Any like word.
Diction, I'm not.
That's true. You're great at speaking words. You're great at speaking words and saying words and acting words. Sometimes spelling them properly or coming up with numbers, not so much. But anyway, that's my rant on people not being able to do long drives. It's like, you just sit, just get in if you sat on your couch and then your couch moved, you would be in New York City 8 hours later, as long as your couch moved at 100 kilometers an hour, which not all couches do. But I don't know what I'm saying here, but the moral of the story is I'm in New York. We're staying in Harlem. So I'm here in Harlem, just north of Central Park. I'm at 128th and Madison Avenue here, living it up like a madman. And we've got conservatory classes, and we've got all kinds of stuff going on here in New York City. So Rodrigo confirmed there is 3 units of 8 hours in every 24-hour period.
Thank you, Rodrigo.
This must be a game changer for you right now. Have you been living your whole life thinking that, like, you're like, oh yeah,
I thought I had more time. I thought I had more time in a day. I was going to do so many things. So many things.
Right. I've wondered. I've
start a garden.
Yeah, I've heard you say in the studio before, oh, I'm so busy. I'm going like 32/7 I'm so busy. I'm just nonstop. I'm working 32/7. Oh, right? You okay?
It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of hours to pull in a day.
Yeah.
You're
Adam Daniel
welcome
Mazay
to everyone
says,
that I work with.
right. Don't ask him about time or math. Adam Daniel Mazay says, come one, come all, shake a hot foot, get your keisters on over to Laughing Vikings Live and delight in this oral feast. Oral spelled A-U-R-A-L. Oral, like ears. Yes. What else? What else was going on this weekend?
I performed in my first DIY show for Big Time Murder as a cop.
Nice.
It was the first time going to an event and then doing that show, which was definitely interesting. Probably ran a little bit longer than it was supposed to, but I was very happy with performing in that, and it was nice to get back out there.
And that was a swanky, without saying exactly who it was for, it was a swanky venue. Yeah. Private show.
Yeah,
private
it was someone's house in out north, and they had an indoor pool. Let's just put it like that.
Nice. An indoor pool. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. That's a big house. Did you swim?
Yeah. I did not. No.
It was a synchronized swimming murder mystery.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Someone did swim with the fishes, but it wasn't me.
I see what you did there. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That's murder mystery comedy right there. Murder mystery podcast comedy. Yeah. Shout out to Big Time Murder and Peter Dillon. It's a great dinner theater company. He's been in existence, I think, around 30 years, maybe a little longer, based in Ottawa. And then he has a cast and crew of people here in Toronto as well. So he creates a ton of work for actors in the area. They're really fun shows, really big, crazy, wacky. Obviously, during the pandemic, the live shows weren't really possible for most people, but then they switched. He pivoted like a lot of businesses did. And now he's got a company called ZoomMystery.com. And he was doing Zoom shows with people, like it would be a birthday party, and they would have people from relatives and friends from all over the world connect via Zoom, and he would have a modified Zoom show. But there's still nothing like in person, right? I think as long as humans are fully like physical, fleshy beings, we're going to like in-person things until we're like full hologram or full cyborg or full metaverse. I don't know when that's going to happen, but yeah, we like the in-person stuff. So congrats. Great.
Yeah.
Great. All right. We have a fantastic show. We can't talk about how many hours are in the day all day long here. We got to get to it. You're going to introduce with a clip. Is that what's going to happen first? And then I'll do the proper intro.
Yep.
All right.
So say the magic words, Lars.
Roll the clip.
94 months in the making. 112 focus groups and $370,000 later, we've perfected the Ray Liotta laugh filter. Hi, I'm Gerard Carlaw, and here at Ray Liotta Laugh Corp, thousands of technicians have been working countless hours to bring you this state-of-the-art filter emulating the iconic laugh of Hollywood legend Ray Liotta. Endless amounts of paid volunteer trial viewers watched the same Goodfellas scene, you know the one, over 100,000 times in order to give you the ultimate Ray Liotta laugh experience. But enough of me rambling. Let's get to Ray Liotta laughing. Go ahead, give it a try.
I love how it doesn't even feature him. It's great.
Brilliant business idea, man. All you need is an internet connection and a good idea, and you can just create millions and millions. I'm sure that company is crushing it. They're at Ray Liotta Laugh Corp. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a thrill. We've been attempting to get this guy on the show for a long time, but he's very busy, and he's always either doing shows or he's literally on set for TV and film. He is a two-time Canadian Screen Award nominee. He's a Canadian Comedy Award winner, and he's also a stand-up comedian and a musical comedian. You can check out his albums, Fog and Lasers. They're hilarious musical comedy. And he is here with us today, and you'll probably recognize him because I think he's just on every show. I would list his credits, the things that he's been on, but he's just been on every show. When you see him today, you're going to be like, oh, that guy from that show. So please give it up for Rodrigo Fernandez-Stoll. Bring him on in. There he is.
Hey.
Hey,
Thank you for showing that Ray Liotta face filter clip.
Yeah.
I don't think that gets enough attention. I mean, I think a lot of people still don't know how great Ray Liotta's laugh is.
Well,
it's an iconic scene in an iconic movie, and
I've never seen it, but no, I've seen it. I'm kidding. I've watched it.
Well,
it's great.
Hopefully, thanks to you, Rodrigo, Ray will finally get his dues. You know, he'll finally get the recognition he needs in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like the type of guy that if he saw the face filter, he would sue me. Or he wouldn't know. He would like call somebody to be like, "There's this face filter. We gotta shut this guy down."
Right. It would just be two guys with baseball bats would show up and beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, definitely.
Which would make a great story.
You could fight back though, Rodrigo.
Me getting absolutely roughed up in an alleyway would make a great story. My nose broken. This is a great story.
Yeah, powerful documentary, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, guys. This is really, really this is very nice of you. Lars, you're in New York right now, you said.
I am. I'm in New York, right in
That's cool.
The thick of it. Yeah. Otherwise, I would be going to your show.
Right on. I mean, yeah, you'll be missed, but I mean, New York City's pretty cool. I'm very jealous. I hope to go there sometime soon. I want to actually go there this summer for. I want to like pick a show and then go. I'm going to see that show or something. It seems like I haven't been there in a long time visiting a buddy, but I will be there. And Brandon, when you mentioned that your murder mystery party, when you mentioned there was an indoor pool, you made it sound like you guys all had sex in the pool after you were done working. You were like, it was the job was great, but let's just say they had an indoor pool. Yeah. Like, what is that? What are you trying to say with that?
They had an indoor pool, if you know what I mean.
All 8 cast members went into the indoor pool, if you know what I mean.
Hey, everyone, jump into the deep end with me.
And also, I can't really I would assume that none of you came prepared with a bathing suit to a job, you know, like nobody brings a bathing suit. So you all skinny dipped in the pool, guaranteed. I know you did.
Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. We don't know. We'll just leave that between me, the cast, and Ray Liotta. But I said too much. I said too much.
Right.
Right on.
So, Rodrigo, we start all of our guest segments off the same with something called the 1 minute life story. Brandon's going to throw the clock up there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A little intro, and then it's your job to tell us the life of Rodrigo Fernandez-Stoll from birth to now.
Cool.
This is Rodrigo Fernandez-Stoll 1 minute life story starting now.
I was born in North York, Ontario, at North York Hospital. Grew up in Markham, and 9 years old, I moved to Spain for about 9 months. And then I came back to Toronto, and then I went to school, high school at Brother Andre High School. Didn't really do much there. Got involved in the drama program. Ended up liking it. Saw a poster for the Humber College School of Comedy on the wall and decided to go there. Went there for about a year, then dropped out. And one of my teachers told me to just go and start auditioning. And I tried that, got a job as a PA in film, started working on some shoots. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, got a part in a musical called Debbie Does Dallas the Musical, which was based on the porn, and met a bunch of people through there. And that's how I got involved in the comedy scene. There you go.
Oh,
boom.
Yeah.
Rodrigo Fernandez-Stoll 1 minute life story. That's quite the debut. Debbie Does Dallas the musical?
Yeah, Debbie does Dallas the musical, and it was exactly what you think it was. Actually, Gwen, you know Gwen,
Yeah.
my girlfriend, that's where we met.
You were the
She came to
quarterback?
see the show. She came to see the show, and that's the first time I met her.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say she was Debbie.
No, I mean, I still know the actress who played Debbie. I know her. I'm still friends with her. Her name's Jamie. She lives in Vancouver with her husband Forrest. They have 2 kids, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was a very fun. It was a very fun musical in the sense where it was just the process was really fun. I don't know if the show was actually very good. I don't think the show was very good, and I think the something happened with like the producers and getting paid. Like I don't think we got paid at all for the show. I took like 3 weeks off for that show. That's a lesson. If you're going to do a show, make a deal before you do the show. Be like, this is how much I should be getting paid. Because in the end, the producer is just going to say, sorry, guys, we didn't make any money. I'm going to Mexico. And that's exactly what happened with us. Our producer came into our dressing room the last night and said, oof, we didn't make any money, guys. Well, I'm going to Mexico. And then I was like, the guy's going to Mexico? He said he didn't make any money off this show. What the hell?
Also, a tip for producers. That's a great last day line. I'm off to Mexico, and that's the allure of Hollywood and showbiz. Is you had that clusterfuck of a fiasco that ended with you not getting paid, and you were like, you know what? I really like this. I'm going to continue in this field, and here you are, many years later.
Yeah, I think it was just I met all these really cool people and I wanted to keep doing it. So I think that's how I got involved in sketch. I and well, yeah, and that's how I met that's actually how I met Gwen and like her friends too. And then I started, I knew a bunch of the Sketchersons and started going to Comedy Bar to perform, and everybody we started doing shows, and you're obviously not making any money, but I feel like that was kind of the draw. Wasn't that it was more just being able to go do shows and getting laughs and being goofy and not having a full-time job. I think that's the goal, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now, do you remember when you were a kid, what was the very first thing that you did that was show busy? Your first performance in school or wherever you did it?
The very, very first thing I would say is like show busy is the very first thing was I actually, my mom took me to an open casting call for Super Dave Osborne.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to be in an episode where it was a really, really like quick, small thing, but they filmed Super Dave Osborne in Markham at the Markham Theater or Unionville Theater, like the Unionville High School Theater. They filmed the episodes of Super Dave Osborne there. And one day they did a casting call where they asked for a bunch of kids to come and meet Dave Osborne, Super Dave. And my mom took me because I watched the show all the time when I was a kid. Like I watched so much TV. So it was Ninja Turtles, Super Dave Osborne, and I think it was and I remember, yeah, it was like Ninja Turtles and Super Dave Osborne were the 2 shows that I just would, and Simpsons actually.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my mom took me Super Dave Osborne. I got to meet him. He asked me what my favorite stunt was. And I don't remember. I have the clip actually. I should send it to you. But but I didn't actually know the name of the stunt. They came like a PA came up to all the kids and would be like, "This is the one you're gonna say," and I was like, "Okay." And then I got an autographed photo of him that I'm pretty sure is still in like one of my parents' boxes somewhere. But that was the first show busy thing that I got to do, and I got to like be in a green room and like go to a craft table and wait until there was a AD walking in the room going, okay, like it's time, and then you walk into the on set and there's Super Dave and he was massive. Like I can't imagine how like he looked. I was already pretty small as a kid. So this guy he looked gigantic. And he had that massive like motorcycle helmet.
Yeah, right.
So cool. But yeah, that was the first show busy thing. I got to meet Super Dave. That
That's
was really cool.
legendary. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so later, what was your first like paid professional thing? I mean, maybe you were paid for that, but as a performer yourself when you were older.
When I was older, my first paid thing was a commercial that I ended up booking off Craigslist back when Craigslist was a place to go and look for auditions. I didn't have an agent.
Right.
And I saw Man Casting had posted for a sandwich place called Jimmy John's Sandwiches. They were doing auditions for a Mexican version of one of their commercials. So I ended up going in, and I remember going in and like I think I looked like a huge pothead. Like I was just like I probably stunk so bad, and I had like the biggest hoodie on, and I showed up to this audition, and I think I only got it because I looked Mexican. Like I just had this look where they were like, "Oh, Latino, okay, put him in." And I was only one of 3 Latino guys in the city that was, saying that he was an actor. So I showed up. Marla Mann, no, not Marla Mann, Gloria Mann, who is Stephen Mann's mom. She was running Man Casting. She brought me in, and she was like, "Hey, okay, here we go." And then I ended up booking it. And all I did was I thought I was going for like the dad role, but I was like 23 years old. Like who's going to hire me to play a dad? So I went in, and they said, and Gloria Mann called me later that day saying, "You booked it." And I was like, "Oh, great." And I was like, "So I'm the dad?" And she's like, "No." She's like, "You're the delivery guy." She's like, "Whatever, just take the money and run." Like, that's what she said to me on the phone. And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Just take the money, kid." Like one of those conversations. And she goes, "Okay, so you're going to get and I remember her going like, "You don't have an agent, do you?" I was like, "No, no." She goes, "Okay, they're going to call you, telling you where to go for your wardrobe, all this stuff." And yeah. And then I showed up on the day to set to film. It was like 3-4 hours of work. All I did was walk into a hallway, and I was holding a Jimmy John sandwiches bag, smiled, and that was it. I got $2,000, didn't get any residuals, and they played it in the US for 10 years, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was non-union. Like I was non-union at the time, so I didn't know anything about that stuff. So I remember like 10 years later getting a text from a friend saying, "Oh, I'm in a theater in Michigan, and they played a Jimmy John's commercial, and it looks like you." And I was like, "Oh my God, they're still playing this thing."
Wow.
And I remember trying to at least be like, "Can I do something about this?" But my agent at the time was kind of like, if you don't have a copy of your contract, and also if you sign something saying they can just use it forever, then you can't really do anything. So, but it was that was my very first thing. I had no idea what I was doing, and I honestly I thought $2,000 was like, so I thought I was a millionaire getting paid for that thing. I was like, $2,000, I'm taking the summer off.
I'm going.
Meanwhile, my parents were like, "That's not that much money. You should be careful." And I was like, "Whatever."
You're just throwing it out.
Throwing it at them.
Yeah. But it was cool because I got introduced to, at least I got to meet Gloria Mann, who had hired me. She's hired me for a bunch of jobs ever since. And I got to meet like the Mann family, Stephen Mann and them, and they gave me a bunch of jobs, and I got to be in that world of like commercial film for a while, and learn a good amount about how it works, pacing. You got to be quick, just shut up and do your job, like that sort of stuff. So it was really cool because I got introduced to a lot of people that I wouldn't have if I didn't. Who knows? if I didn't if I didn't do Debbie Does Dallas the musical, who knows? You know.
Right. If you didn't check that Craigslist ad and wade through all the other horrible things on Craigslist to find that Jimmy John's commercial. And shout out to the Man family too, Gloria, Stephen, Marla. They're great, and they've given a lot of work and helped a lot of actors get a lot of work.
They've helped a bunch of people, and you got to give it up to them for that. So
totally. I got to ask a question because I don't think I've ever heard the real answer to it. You're a comedian, to me at least, that a lot of the times I see things that you post and I'm like, is this real or is this a sketch or is this real? Like, I often don't know. Sort of a little
cool. Thanks. That's a compliment.
And one of those things is Blade Hat. You're a proponent of Blade Hat, but I don't know what that means, how it started, where it came from, if it's a real thing or if it's a joke. So can you explain once and for all to anyone who, like me, doesn't know what Blade Hat is, how it started and what it is?
Well, Blade Hat is a revolutionary product. It's a it's something that, as I've said before, it's the Apple computer of the wardrobe industry. I hope to have a Blade Hat in every single American home by the year 2028.
Just America, not global.
America, like North America. Sorry, let me. And yeah, so far we're almost there. I would say majority of the country so far knows what Blade Hat is, and it's only a matter of time until they own a Blade Hat. If they come May 6th to Longboat Hall to see Fog and Lasers, who knows? I might have some Blade Hats there.
Wow. Brendan, do you have a Blade Hat?
I do not.
Because I know I don't have a Blade Hat either. So
well,
this is a big deal.
If you guys play your cards right, you might get one, I guess, but you have to come there.
Okay.
Is there an initiation process for the Blade Hat, or
is there a hazing process for Blade Hat? No, there's not. I know for legal reasons I can't actually say whether or not there is, but no, Blade Hat is a state of mind. No, it's obviously from it represents one of the best movies of the late 90s, Blade, starring Wesley Snipes, vampire hunter, daywalker. And I'm a big fan of the old school Blade logo, which you can see on my hat right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And ever since they announced the new Blade movie that's going to be coming out with Mahershala Ali, who I'm very excited about, they had shown a photo of him wearing a Blade hat, which had the new logo on it. And I saw that photo and then I thought I would like to own a Blade hat. So I made myself a Blade hat with the old school logo. And I had a bunch of people say, hey, that's a really cool hat. Can I have one? And I made some for some friends, and then they told people, and then so on and so forth. So really, Blade Hat is kind of like a massive pyramid scheme.
Beautiful. Yeah. So Brandon, you tell 3 friends, I'll tell 3 friends, and then we get our Blade Hats free, right? If they buy 3, we get ours free. Beautiful.
Can I get a Blade Trinity hat?
No, of course not. Why would you want that?
Well, it's the one that has Ryan Reynolds in it.
Yeah, no thanks. It's only Blade 1 and Blade 2 that are really the ones that I'm gonna act like they still exist.
How dare you, Brandon?
Blade Trinity does not exist in my universe.
That's fair. That's
the one where he
Scrubs
fights.
season 9 doesn't exist in mine.
That's the one where he fights actual Dracula, which is ridiculous. But whatever.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yes. Brandon, you got some questions?
I did. It's all gone. Rodrigo, you said at the beginning of this that you worked as a PA. How did your time as a PA on set help you as an actor today?
Oh, great question. Well, it not only has helped me as an actor, I'd say it's helped me with any position in film. I would say being a PA is just a great way to get yourself introduced to every department. Um, when I first started, I think my very first PA job was for a film called Citizen Dwayne, and they were shooting down by Eastern Studios. I had no idea what I was doing. Um, I had absolutely no contacts or anything. Didn't know this was a time during where nobody had cell phones. Like I had a phone, but it was like a flip phone, so
Mhm.
it wasn't a smartphone. So if you needed to find an address, you had to go through the remember the map books.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
So you had to go through the map book and look the address in the back, and then find it on what page it was on. And they would hand you stacks of contracts, and you would have to do drop-offs. So you would make your list of drop-offs at the office and then drive out to wherever it was that you needed to go. And then your whole day just went by in like 8 hours. So yeah, I mean, I started doing that, which kind of made me it kind of helped me realize that the office does a lot of work. I was like, oh wow, I never knew there was like an office for whatever production this is. So I always thought it was just a set. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. So there's a production manager, there's a production coordinator, there's an accounting office, there's a bunch of office PAs running around. And it really just made me appreciate every single person that's working on something. So I started doing that, and then I got introduced to being a PA for art department. So I was an assistant in an art department. So I started helping out with that. And then I worked as a driver. So I was like picking up cast every morning and, driving them from the hotel to set and doing that. And then I was a craft person for a bit. I think I did that for a little bit, but I kind of did every job. And I was just hanging around so much doing these PA jobs and assistant jobs where I just loved being on set and filming. I didn't have any specific thing. I did go to school for performance, so I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I want to be an actor. I just don't know how to get in there. Like, how do I do it? So I was doing like during the week I'd work, and then weekends I would try to do short films, like student films, just so I could get some sort of like footage of myself doing something. And this was before YouTube, or this was just when YouTube was starting. So there wasn't really a place for you to be showcasing anything online. And then I remember I was working on a film, I was working on a pilot called Ultra, and they sent me out with some contracts for some of the actors. And one of the actors was a guy that I went to school with. And I looked at his address of his agent, and then I was like, oh, okay. So I guess it was on Queen Street Queen Street West. It was in a furniture store. And this woman who was half an agent, half owned a furniture store. It was actually kind of cool. You could tell like she worked very hard. And I walked in, gave her the contract, and I said, yeah, I'm the PA for this. I just need you to sign his contract or whatever. This is before contracts were emailed to anybody. So this was like everything was hard copy. And then just by chance, when I handed her the contract, I said, oh, I know this guy. We went to the same school. I'm actually like, I was like, I'm actually a performer too. I'm an actor. And then she said, oh, really? Okay. And then she like kind of looked at me, and I was like, I'm looking for an agent. And then she looked at me again, and she's like, do you have any headshots? I didn't have headshots, but I said I did. And then I remember she's like, well, come back with some headshots and we'll talk. So I remember leaving, and that weekend I was like, I need headshots. Where do I go? I asked my friend to grab a camera and we just took some shots. I'm pretty sure they were pretty bad headshots. I was wearing like a massive white dress shirt with a huge collar and like unbuttoned a bit. I tried to look sexy, like it was weird. And and then she took me on, and that's how I got my first agent, which was kind of brutal. I didn't get any work. I think I got sent on one audition every 3 months, but I still got in there. And then that's how I gradually, and like I said, I was trying to do short films and student films, but I was doing them and I already knew the process. Like I already knew what every department did, and I already knew like how to set up, and I already knew like timing of everything, and like who can bring, we need this many cars, and like who can transport. Like I already knew all that stuff from doing a good amount of years of PA work. I already had kind of like 3 years of PA work in me. So that kind of led me to just kind of knowing, like having some sort of perspective on it, right? And yeah, that's how it helped my acting, because with that, now even today when I'm acting, I know who's doing what, and every single job matters. So you're looking around and you're like, okay, that guy does that guy does that. And I don't get in anyone's way. That's one of my rules, is if like obviously if they need to set up for lights, or if they need to dress the room, get out of their way, let them do their job. But yeah, that's how it's helped me. It's actually been very, very cool to appreciate how much a PA does, because they're the ones who fucking bust their ass. Everyone works very hard, but PAs don't sleep, and they're the ones who have some sort of trauma by the end of this. And I think everyone has started as a PA or an assistant, and they kind of know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, that's a great story. And I think a lot of actors, especially aspiring actors, when they're at the phase of cracking into the business and trying to figure it all out and navigate things, a lot of times people think that they have to have the server job or the hospitality job, instead of thinking, oh, what are all the other jobs in the industry, so that you can be meeting people, be starting to understand how sets work and how the industry works. So yeah, kudos to you. That's brilliant. And I think it's great advice to anyone who wants to go further as a performer, rather than hating your life because you're at some job that's soul sucking that you don't want to be a part of. Figure out how to get into productions.
Yeah, I would say that it is extremely difficult to hold a production job and do auditions at the same time. It's something where I mean, it's more just how long those productions are, because you could be working a PA job for, something that shoots for 3 days, or you're doing a PA job for something that's shooting all summer, and then you're like, well, I don't have any time for anything else. So so that's why it matters. Like the waiting jobs are awesome because you can do that at night, and they're very flexible, and you can everyone else is an actor who's working as a waiter, usually a performer. But the production job was more because I also I'm I first and foremost, I do consider myself an actor. I am an actor, a performer, but also I do work production sometimes, in the sense of I've done some directing jobs. I've done, I've still, when I have friends working on stuff, I'm always like, what do you need me to do? Do you need me, I can be a driver. I can help with art department. Hell, I'll be a PA for the day. What do you need? I'll be a second AD, whatever they want, really, just because I just like doing it so much. So it's really about, it's really just knowledge of what's going on, just so everybody kind of grasps how important every job is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. You're in a unique situation. You mentioned your partner, Gwyn Phillips. She's an actor and brilliant comedian herself, works a lot in the industry.
Yeah.
Any advice for someone who is in a partnership like that, where both of you are in the industry? Because often it's someone's working a 9 to 5 and holding like the real life job and that world, and then you have the performer, but you're both in it. So what are the challenges that come with that, and how do you two navigate that?
It is, I would say we're lucky enough where we both work a decent amount. So it's, we're both able to understand how stressful it is, or, if someone, if I have to go away for a job for a week or something and shoot somewhere in a different city, she'll be like, I get it. Okay, go. If I have to go up north and be there for 4 or 5 days, she'll be like, yeah, okay, cool. Like there's no, there's an understanding there. But you both just have to make it work. I think that kind of is a lesson for anybody in any relationship, really. In performers, it's more just try not to annoy each other, I'd say. That's my advice to people. Try to keep the performing to a minimum at home, because you're just going to be exhausted all the time.
Right.
But the best part is we can make each other laugh a good amount, and if you can do that, I'd say that's all right. So, but I will say I am funnier. To put it on, put it on record. So she'll think differently, but whatever.
She'll say, yeah, he thinks that blade hat bit is hilarious, and he will not stop with the blade hat thing. Please. Does she have a blade?
She's a blade hat advocate.
Okay.
She's got a custom blade hat, so
Wow.
she's doing fine.
Nice. Brandon, what else you got?
So, Rodrigo, because we are an audition studio, what do you think is the importance of investing in your own auditions?
Do you mean with equipment? Do you mean with
I mean with
like
at-home
financially?
studios and with a coach, at an actual studio? What do you, being a performer for so long and being behind the camera and being in front of it, what is the importance of investing in your own auditions?
I mean, I would say whatever kind of resources you can get, go for it. Get anything, depending on what the audition is. I mean, you guys know I've gone to you a good amount, and you're usually my go-to if Gwyn isn't able to help me. And usually it's either because she's away or she's filming something, and I don't really have anybody. But it's also you guys are consistent as to I can't really ask my buddy to help me sometimes, because I just need to be sure that it's going to be good quality, or it's going to be, I'm going to be able to have you for an hour. Because sometimes you ask people and they're like, yeah, I can give you 10 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to need more than 10 minutes to do this 4-page scene,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you should really, I've always thought getting a coach is a great idea. I wish I had the time to get a coach. Sometimes it'll be like, I'll get an audition and it'll be like, it's due in 2 days, or you'll get an audition on a Friday saying it's due Monday at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just really no time to get a coach and really get into it. Luckily now with self-tapes, you can record it 10 times and pick the best take. But before it was, you would go into the room and whatever they think, however many takes they think you can do, that's what you're going to do. Like you would do 2 and they'd be like, okay, thank you. But it's funny you should say that, because I actually have an audition coming up that I'm doing, that I'm actually getting a coach for, just because it is something I just want to do really well on, and I really want that. I want that perspective on my take of it, and I want someone who's very good to kind of give me that coaching for a couple of sessions at least, and then that way I have it down. But I do think all that stuff matters. It's great. Use everything, and that's also what I think an actor should just kind of take from all angles, and really use that to their advantage. Even if you don't like certain things about the process, still do it, just so you can be like, okay, that's how that feels. All right, great. So, but from my experience, getting a coach is great, or what I usually do is I'll kind of read it a good amount the day before I have to do it. Not the day before, but like days before, then the day before, go through it, and it sinks in to my head. And then the day of, about 3 hours before, I start to really, really kind of go through it, and I'll go through it for like an hour, give myself a break, and then, yeah. But I usually break it down like the day before, because usually these auditions are about 1 to 2 pages. If it's a super long one, you got to give me like 4 days or something. But I've gotten, throughout the years, I've gotten better and better at being able to have the paper in my hands. A lot of people don't think that's a cool thing, but I don't mind it at all. I have the script in my hands. I'm able to reference it while I'm doing the audition. And I don't mind that. Like, I think I can, make it flow and really kind of do a scene with that. I don't necessarily like to have things memorized perfectly, because I do improvise. So I enjoy doing that too. So I would say it's more about just understanding what's going on in the scene, and getting, maybe getting a coach to really kind of give you some insight on how you're doing something, and realizing that not everything you're going to do is perfect. Because I do find that too. Sometimes I'll do something, and that's actually the good thing about having Gwyn here, is we do call each other out on certain things. So I'll do a scene and she'll be like, that you're saying that line really weird. It doesn't make sense. And I'll be like, oh, okay. And I'll try to like figure it out a different way, just because, like I said, it's where nobody's perfect. So you gotta kind of, you gotta just like let it all hang out and realize that you gotta be open to changing whatever it is that you're doing. That's kind of the trick with whenever you're actually filming something with a director, just being able to you got to be willing to be directed,
Yeah. You mentioned your ability to improvise and holding the papers. I can attest and concur that you're fantastic at both. I've worked with you a couple times where you just got it recently, and you're just digesting the lines, and you're able to pick them off the page really quick. And we gave you a shout out on a recent episode, because it's usually like the moment before, something right off the top that brings you into the scene, or your ability to just add one last button. Like if they didn't say cut, what's the next
right on.
Your character would say, and you're brilliant at that, and very funny at it too. So kudos to you. It's great. And I'm sure that books you, like having the courage, I think. I mean, you got to know that it's funny, so you have good instincts and good timing, and you have a good sense, like, ooh, that's a good line. But doing something like that, that's a guaranteed separator of you and the other 100 people that they're looking at, because no one else is presumably going to improvise the line the same way that you did. So
yeah,
really smart to do that. And I think a lot of actors sometimes are afraid to do that because of the sanctity of the script and the writing. But I think it's stay true to the script, but then if you color it a little bit here and there, no one's going to be like, oh, what the fuck? Why is this guy think he's so hilarious?
That's always thank you. I mean, it is a very touchy thing with, obviously, with like whoever wrote it. You don't want to like ruin whatever it is they're trying to convey in the scene. But I also do think you should probably add a little bit of your own flavor to whatever it is you're doing. So if you're going to try that, and whatever, if they don't like it, then I mean, maybe you're not meant to do that job. Like, it's not everything is like I said, you're not perfect, but I do like to add my own spin to things, and if by any chance, if they don't like it and they're willing to kind of work with me to see that I am able to think fast on my feet and do something at least close to what they were thinking, then at least I would hope they would bring me in and realize that, okay, this guy we can direct. Because that's what you want. You want somebody, usually with like callbacks, it'll be with a director, and then you can sit there and they can kind of shoot you some notes. And if you can go with their notes, then that's a good sign, because then that just means that you're able to work well with them. You're able to take some sort of change, right, from, or a direction from them, and it shows that you're good at what you're doing. So I feel like that's kind of one of my strengths, at least, where I'm able to do that. And yeah.
Big time. Yeah. We always talk about that as far as like the putting your unique take on it. Like, what are your special skills? And if one of your special skills is thinking fast and improvising and adding a little sprinkle of Rodrigo on it, if you don't give that, then they miss out on that and they may cast someone else. But that is some of the value that you offer too. If they were to cast you in a production, what they're getting is a brilliant performer that can take what they put on the page, but they're also getting something that can, they're getting someone that can add to it, which not everyone has that muscle. So I think for some people that might be, they might be also singers. So is there a way to work in, like you, for example, you can sing too. So if you can figure out how to throw that in there, like, oh shit, this guy's got a voice too. All right, that's another thing that he's got. So I think it's whatever you can do to infuse your. Ooh, that's a Harlem fire truck. You might have just heard here.
Is that where you're staying, in Harlem?
Yeah, I'm at 128th and Madison Avenue in a beautiful Airbnb here.
Cool. You got to go see some music. I feel like you got to go somewhere, see some music, see some comedy somewhere. Are you going to go to a comedy club?
Oh yeah. I'll see a bunch, and we're not far from the Apollo as well too. So
cool.
The Apollo, obviously know of it, but if there's any shows happening there, I'll check it out too. Yes,
that's cool.
Switching gears a little bit, moving forward into the future, we always like to ask our guests: is there a dream project that you want to create, or a dream project that you want to be a part of? A film, TV series, live shows. What's the big dream for Rodrigo?
Oh, cool. A dream project. I mean, a dream project would just be to have a job that, I get to be sort of like maybe just on it for a solid 4 months. Like just a project that's, like a series or something. That would be really, really cool. I mean, it's really fun to be doing a lot of these films. It's awesome. It's a dream, but I feel like doing some sort of series where I've done series, but I only get to do 1 or 2 episodes usually. I mean, I got to do Star Trek. That was really, really cool, but I had a story. I had a bit of like a story in there, but I got like killed off at one point. So it's like stuff like that where I'm like, oh, I give me something that at least I have some sort of arc throughout a season. But I guess that's everybody's dream, really. But I mean, that's kind of the dream. There's no specific thing. I like, actually, no, my dream would be to make stuff with my friends all the time. I get to do that somewhat. And I always think of that. I'm like, it would be awesome to make a movie with my friends.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. The Happy Madison type deal, or Heartbeat Productions, where you're just casting all your buddies and greenlighting your friends' scripts and getting them on board, whether it's cast or crew, just working with people that you want. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it would be cool to do like a reboot of Demolition Man or something. I don't know.
Blade remakes, maybe.
They're already remaking it, so that would be really cool. Yeah, I would totally. I just want to like collab with friends and make a film would be really cool. I don't know about a TV show. A TV show would be cool too, but making like a solid comedic film with a bunch of friends,
right?
Just so we can say like we have this, we made this, and make it like a Toronto vibe. Like I feel like it would be really cool to make something that's filmed here, it takes place here, and it's a solid visual is a solid representation of what Toronto comedy is like, which I don't think anything like that has been made. So,
Right. Well, there you have it. We're putting it out there.
Mhm.
It will be done.
thank you.
And it is so. Brandon, you got another clip that you wanted to roll before we start wrapping up?
Yes, I do. Say the magic words, Lars.
Roll the clip.
Whispering Meadows Family Farm, high quality premium meats delivered to my home. Can't wait to take a big bite of this beef. Yeah. When I order my meat, I order it from Whispering Meadows Family Farm. Animals just the way you dream of. Free range, stress-free, with zero antibiotics or synthetic hormones, using organic growing methods, and with certified organic non-GMO feeds. Whispering Meadows Family Farm. Whispering Meadows.
Beautiful.
It's a real place. Yeah, Whispering Meadows. They're great. They reached out. They said, "Can you give us a post on Instagram?" And I said, "I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to write you a little jingle."
Yeah, and it was just like so heartfelt.
Oh,
Rodrigo Stoll is the beef whisperer.
I will say their meat was very, very good, and I will be ordering it again and again. Their breakfast sausages are really, really good.
Right. Yes. Brandon, what else do you want to share with us?
so one of our final questions that we like to finish off with, Rodrigo, is what advice would you give to your past artist self?
Wow, that's a great question. What advice would I give to my past artist self?
Yep.
I would say don't worry. With everything that happens, you will find an opportunity to perform and create. Because like things change in your life. You go through certain things, and everybody thinks once something that's not planned happens that you either have to end it or you have to really accommodate, and you have to accommodate, but that doesn't mean you have to stop making anything. And luckily I've been able to just keep making my videos, my art, keep making music, keep working. And it really is awesome to be able to do that after a lot of different things have happened to me. And I feel like I'm lucky and able to really appreciate and stay humble and everything. So I would say that's what I would say to my past self is no matter what, just really just kind of keep doing it because you're able to.
Love it.
Love
And
that.
you are continuing to do it. And you've got a show coming up. Let's give a nice plug to this show. May 6th. Tell us about it.
May 6th, we're doing a show at Longboat Hall, which is at Queen and Dovercourt here in Toronto. It's a fog and lasers show. It's a musical sketch comedy show. It's going to be fantastic. We're very excited. We got a big band playing. We have our opener act, Pink Blob, which is a band fronted by Morgan Waters from the Amazing Gail Pyle and the Morgan Waters Show. And we're doing it all to raise money for Help Age Canada, which is a charity that raises money for the elderly. And this one is specific to the elderly in the Ukraine. So we're going to be raising money to help, elderly in Ukraine with supplies such as toiletries and food, just to give them something just because, it's pretty harsh over there right now. So if you buy a ticket, which I'm sure you guys will post the link for tickets or event, which I can send you, you will be able to support them in that way. There's also going to be a raffle for some prizes. We're giving away a couple of Team Canada jerseys, for their Team Canada soccer jerseys, I should say, and a gold record from Pink Floyd framed, which is something that Gwen has wanted out of my apartment for a long time, because she says it's meant more for like a frat boy than anything. But yeah, we have a lot of surprises, a lot of special guests. There's a lot of comedians on the show, a lot of musicians. It's just going to be a very, very fun night. And there's a lot of people who are just going to have a good laugh that night. We're very excited to do it for a good cause. So I don't know. Rumor has it this might be the last Fog and Lasers ever. We don't know.
No.
What?
So, Rodrigo.
Hey, who knows? I don't know. I don't know, guys.
They don't know. So this is why you have to go. Make sure you go.
Yeah.
May 6th. I want to thank you. You reached out to me offering a pair of tickets, but I happen to be down in New York, so I can't take advantage of that. Maybe Brandon can check it out, and all of our listeners, viewers, we'll make sure to post about it on socials as well.
Please do.
Yeah, it's a great cause too. So congrats on the show. And you are the fog and lasers guy. If you're in need of fog or lasers in the Toronto area, Rodrigo is your man. Blade hats and fog machines and lasers. That's your
damn
special.
right. Damn right.
Yes. Thank you again, Rodrigo, for being on here. We
Thanks
love
for
you.
having me.
One of our favorites at the studio, and love everything you're doing. Yeah, so it's great. Super happy to have you. Brandon, do you want to share? Do you have anything locked and loaded for the end here?
I do. We have one clip that's promoting the Fog and Comedy album.
Perfect.
It's Fog and Lasers, the album. The most explosive collection of sick musical artists and pretty funny comedians have come together to bring you a fuckfest of pure fucking sound heaven with tracks like Drugs. Who is Janky Man? Venom. I hope this wins a Grammy. And their international club hit, Whip Yo Dick and Tits Out.
Whip your dick out, let's smoke crack cocaine, yeah. Whip your tits out, let's smoke crack cocaine.
15 of the raddest fucking tunes by some of Canada's hottest acts. Fog and Lasers, the album, now available on Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Play.
Yeah, baby.
Whip your dick and
I love Janky Man just watching Chris Locke walk through Broadview Station and grab himself a meat patty. It's just priceless. Check it out.
That was just candid footage of Chris Locke. That wasn't even part of the video.
Yeah, that was him.
No.
That was it.
Element. Yes. Thanks again, Rodrigo. I got to also give a shout out here and a bit of a plug. We've got our first show coming up at Comedy Alley, May 20th and 21st is our opening weekend. I don't know what you're doing that weekend, Rodrigo, but I can reach out if you want to hop on one of those shows. That would be great.
Right on. Cool.
For viewers and listeners, check out laughingvikings.com/comedy alley. There's only around 20 seats per show, maybe 25. We jam people in there, and we've already sold some. So we anticipate those shows will sell out. Go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley, and you can join us here in the alley. It's going to be a great weekend. So we're doing a show Friday at 8 and Saturday at 8 as well. So come join us in the alley. But before you join us in the alley, make sure to go to Longboat Hall and check out the Fog and Lasers, because this might be the last Fog and Lasers show ever. And you don't want to miss that fog or those lasers. And that's that.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Rodrigo, for joining us. Have a fantastic week. We love you. Tune in next week, and we'll see you all on Tuesday.
Yes, sirs. And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.
And subscribe. That would
Thanks
be
for having me, guys.
Yeah, buddy. You're the best. Thank you. See you soon.